although I knew I had to do it. When the phone rang the third time, I went into the bedroom, pulled back the blankets, and stripped the sheets. I knew, I'd read, that when people died, they voided everything that was still in them. I had, somewhere in the back of my head, my own suicide plan. Pills, vodka, a plastic bag, and for God's sake, remember a laxative a day ahead of time, and maybe a fleet enema. Although I couldn't imagine, no matter how considerate I might want to be, putting myself through a fleet when I was going to die anyway. But there was nothing here. Just a nickel's worth, a modest little stain. I had looked up his behind once, his sphincter, helpless, relaxed and open. How much I'll know of you. But it was such a mystery, like a postcard of a subway, pink and clean, curving off into the middle of his body. As the phone began ringing, I pulled off the sheets, bundled them up with the last set of towels, and walked down to the laundry room. Estelle passed me again, taking her own exercise, keeping herself alive. See, her look said, but I ignored her, filled every machine in the place. Extra hot water, plenty of bleach. In the kitchen, I threw out the applesauce and the Ensure, the ice cream, in the same way the undertakers had casually taken him out the door the night before. In the bathroom, I pitched out the pills to keep his heart strong, his blood thin, his pressure down, his flow up. I threw out the laxatives and the powder that slowed your bowels to a standstill. I kept the painkillers and the tranquilizers. The hospice people had come yesterday, just minutes after he died, to pour what morphine was left in the toilet. The phone rang. This time I answered. "Yes, what is it?" I said resentfully into the receiver, because it wasn't even 7 in the morning and I was a widow now, and any condolences would have to be pretty good. "Turn on the television." For a minute, I couldn't even place his voice. The doctor? A neighbor? That infernal minister the hospice people kept sending out, and I couldn't say no because he was part of the package along with the wheelchairs and the wedges? But no. It was my son. He hadn't even said hello. He sounded more cracked than usual, poor guy. "You'll see history being made, I think." And then he hung up. I poured more coffee, set out some change on the sink to remind me to put the sheets in the dryer when the time came, went into the living room and turned on the set. Buildings on fire. In New York. Then one, incredibly, went down. I admit for a minute, I was impressed. That was the word. Then I thought, fuck that. The only human being in the world who ever loved me, except for my goofy son maybe, died last night. Died in my arms, breathed his last. Excuse me, God, but you're going to have to do better than that if you want to impress me. Damn fucking Easterners. Of course, we all do that now. Tell where we were on that date and what we were doing. I was talking to Melinda Barclay in the med center where I volunteer to pass the time. We were both still doing it now. April, May, 2007. The Lonesome Road. Edith. My son persuaded me to take this volunteer job, to get my mind off things, I guess. But God knows it's the wrong one for me. I sit at this desk and answer questions and kill time writing in this journal. Because I don't knit. A woman journaling. As if anyone on earth gave a raving shit. Or talking to Melinda. She keeps me company. She's a regular. I've never liked the sight of blood. And I've never